6 years. Originally, I went to cosmetology school at the Aveda Institute, and I worked in a salon for 2 years back in Columbus. And I've been here for 3 years, and that's where I started my session and editorial work. My session and editorial work has taken me from shows to bridal shows with the L'Oreal team. I've done editorial work, I've done ad jobs, lookbooks, all kinds of stuff. So that's mainly where my focus has been for the past 3 years, and I've worked a lot with the L'Oreal team, which I really enjoy them a lot. As far as any of my session editorial work goes, stuff I've done some cool music videos and had some cool commercials for MTV, I've done Fanta, I've done other stuff just ad related. As far as with that, it's more of done IKEA, Dell, Target, Sears, I've done a lot with Sears. Also, I particularly love doing shows, which is actually where I met anyone. I met Joseph from the L'Oreal team on the Z-Spoke show, Zach Posen, for Fashion Week. So that was one of my favorites. I really like fashion shows in general. I've done Bridal Week also. I like all of those because I think it's the best way to meet a lot of people, to learn a new look, and then also get to practice that look over and over on models, and then you take that look into your next job, and you can interpret it however you want. You get to use that technique, you get to use parts of that technique, and just kind of recycle it into your everyday work from then on. So I think shows, no matter how long you've been doing hair, are very important, all the time. I recently have been doing a lot of editorial work with Zinc magazine. I've done a lot with this new magazine called Love Cat. You'll see it a lot more, I'm sure, soon. They're just now releasing their second issue around Fashion Week. I've done other magazines like Paper Magazine, Prevention Magazine, anything in between those two. Then those two are on opposite ends of the spectrum. I've done a lot of good assisting, and I've assisted with lots of different agencies all over. I've assisted with agencies based out of LA, like Exclusive Artists and Wall Group in LA, and as well as in New York. I've assisted with lots of great hairstylists as well. I used to work with Tim Gibson when I first moved to the city, worked at that salon, and currently when I do work in a salon, I work with Rick Lupino. So that brings me to my next point of people who inspire me in the industry. And I find Rick to be a great inspiration because, first of all, I feel like there's a lot to learn from him. I feel like he's got great techniques. I feel like he's easy to learn from, but at the same time, he's also very cut and dry and very, this is what you need to learn, and I want you to be better, and I care about your talent, and I see you recognize your talent, and I want this to get better. And I feel like any good hairstylist that I personally look up to recognizes that people have strengths and weaknesses, but view their strengths as important as their weaknesses as well, and want their weaknesses to become strengths. And I find that very prevalent with Rick. So he's one of the people I look up to a lot. Another person I look up to would also be Joseph Tabaggio from the L'Oreal team, because he is another example of somebody else who really pushes you to become better at everything that you do, and pushes you to be a better hairstylist, wants to get better, and his younger, more raw talent, which is really nice to see, because it's more of a peer than someone who's, oh, well, I seem to know more than you, so I feel like I'm on the same page as him, even though he's someone I look up to, and I find him to be incredibly talented. Also, the energy around both of those two people that they have on set, and then also off set, that they carry back into day-to-day life, and the way they treat people around them, the way they treat everyone on set, the way they treat assistants even, I think that's really important. Other people I look up to would probably just be people such as Orbe. I find him to be a name that I recognize everywhere, and every hairstylist I find intriguing and I learn stuff from and I look up to. They all have worked with Orbe at some point or another, and I find them to all have a lot to learn from. And I like the way Orbe has carried himself from not only a session hairstylist and carrying a whole product line that's only based for session hairstylists, and those products are great for us that want to do this and only this, and not necessarily have salon stuff. The reason I love to be part of L'Oreal Professional Team is I particularly love, first, the product line, second, I really love the people, and third, I really love everything they're doing currently, and from what I understand, are also planning on doing in the future. I think they're great with session work, I think they're great with editorial work, and I also really particularly love the people and the energy that they have every time I've worked with them. I've never ever left a shoot or a show that I've worked with them with a bad taste in my mouth, and I always feel like I learn from them and enjoy being around them every time I'm there. So I can't think of a better fit for me and where I want to see my career going than L'Oreal Professional Teams. So today we're going to do a French twist on this pretty girl here. First I prep the hair with a little bit of this bad boy, this mousse right here, and I sprayed some of this in as well. So I rough dried that in with a little bit of, I sprayed it all, put about a golf ball size of mousse in, and worked that through the blow dryer. Then in order to get some extra body in, so when I'm done, I curled it with a Marcel iron, just a 1-inch iron, and wrapped it around. So that way she's got some good texture to work with in the beginning. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide where I necessarily want to part it and what I want to do with the front of the hair first. So with her, since she normally goes with more of a side part, and that's what looks good on her, we're going to part it off to the side, kind of like this, and then you can section this off. And that way, when it's all done, she'll still have this look. Now, also we could change it up and give her more height and go straight back, but just for this particular look, because she's younger and wants to stay cute with this curl and everything, we're going to part it off to the side. So I'm getting started. After it's all pressed, I'm going to put a little bit of teasing into it. That way it has a good cushion for the pins to go in, and it's a really good base when you end up, we start with this structure that we're building. So I'm just going to put a little bit in on either side. Now if I want to do more, I could always add more teasing all around and in the side if I wanted to build it bigger, but I want to keep it smaller, more simple. So I'm just going to give it a little bit, and like I said, that's only at the base, so that way it's got a good cushion for the pins to sit in once I get started. Alright, so you see this, that's about enough to hold it in good. And that way this will also help hold the French twist for far longer, and so it won't end up falling out and the pins have something good to stick into. Then from here what I'll do, just take the Mason Pearson, and comb it all into the shape that I want. Cover up all the teasing that you did, and all it really is. So it's still under there. Right here, what I do, I hold it here, and then I want it to line up right about here, right down the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pins and secure those in kind of a crisscross section. So that's more of a so you can see now they cross over each other. Now I like to use the big pins for this, just more for her hair, more for her texture. So that way it'll really hold it in. to use my finger. Some people prefer to use a comb and wrap it around the comb, and then they can pull the comb out if they'd like. But for me, what works is I just like to wrap it around my finger, and then I can pin it as it's twisted around. So what I do, if you want to come around here, what I do is I usually go in straight with the pin, and then right about here, I turn, and then I get it in straight across. And that sticks right in there, and that's right in the cushion that we made with the teasing, so that'll hold up nice. I'm going to go around and do that around the whole thing. Depending what you want to do with the top of it, that's completely up to you. You could leave it, since her hair is longer, we could leave it so it kind of hangs out and is a little more messy at the top. Or if you want, you could even tuck it under, which is kind of nice for a more clean look. But it also depends if you want to look straight on, what you want to do. Do you want it to be more flat in the front and this to be more secured down? Or do you want to take it like this and then kind of lift up with a comb? You can lift it up so there's a little more body in it and leave little pieces down. It all depends on your finished look that you want, because you already have the base that you want to build at the back, which is really nice. So I think what I want to do is kind of tuck it in. Using a rat tail comb is one of the best, it's definitely one of the best tools to use as far as you can smooth it out. After you've sprayed it, you can really get it really nice and clean. And then also using this part, you can tuck any extras in and kind of reshape it without using the oils of your hands to really mess it up. All the way around. You have it. So it's nice and straight and clean. Which is good.